Hello, welcome to Centennial Hall. This is room 3104, and I'm going to give you a rundown on how the technology works here in the room. We're up here at the teacher station, and right here in the middle is our touch panel. It's going to control just about everything we need. Right now we're on the startup page, and there's a button on there that says press here to begin. When I press that, it's going to give me the option of whether or not I want to use the projector. I'll go ahead and hit yes. That's going to power on the projector that's in the middle of the room, and it's also going to bring the screen down for us. We'll get a little wait screen on our touch panel there, and the whole process takes just over a minute, and we'll know things are ready to go when that wait screen changes and we get our main screen on there. While we're waiting, we'll go ahead and go through the light controls. They're on the right-hand side of the touch panel. There are 5 presets, the lights all on preset, 2 whiteboard presets, one uses the whiteboard lights and one does not, a theater setting that dims all the lights, and a lights all off button. We can also access those 5 presets with the 5 buttons on this controller on the wall, or there's a master on-off switch at the door or at the entrance to both doors to the room. Another thing we have available here is a wireless microphone, and we can go over that. At the top of the wireless microphone is an on-off switch. When I switch that on, the wireless microphone will become active. And then anything I say into the wireless microphone is going to reinforce my voice into the room so that everybody can hear me nice and clear. If I need to change the volume of that, if I need to move it up and down, I can come over to my touch panel, and you'll see now that we're at the main screen. Everything is booted up for us. And I'm going to hit the audio control button in the bottom right here. It's going to give me a number of options. And on the left-hand side is our wireless microphone option. I can turn it up or turn it down, or I can mute it. And when I have it set to the correct level, I'll hit the back button to get back to my main screen. When I'm all done with the wireless mic, I'm going to want to make sure and click that button off again. And the reason for that is if I leave it on, even if I'm not using it, it's going to totally drain the battery. So we want to make sure and turn that off. Okay, now we can come back to the touch panel, and we're at our main screen. And the top line of our main screen there is our source select row. And whatever is highlighted there is what is going to show on the projector in the front of the room. Right now, PC is highlighted, so in the front of the room, the PC is showing on the big screen. Well, as soon as I get it out of its screensaver anyway, give it just a second there. And now it's showing on the screen. Sorry about that. One quick note on the PC is that you will need to log into it. The username is going to be the first part of your UWL email address, and the password will be your UWL net ID, and then you're going to want to log out when you're all done as well. Can come back to our source select row now, and the next 2 things we have are our laptop options. We have a VGA laptop and an HDMI laptop, or a digital laptop connection. And those connections are going to be located in the cable cubby in the teacher station here. There's even a power supply down in there, so you don't have to rely on your battery. You can plug right in to our desk. I'll go ahead and hook the VGA cable up to my laptop for demonstration purposes. I'll just pull it right out of there and plug it in. Then I'll take the audio cable, and I'm going to plug that into the headphone jack of my laptop. And then everything should be ready to go. So I'll come over to the touch panel, and I'll hit the button labeled laptop, since this is an analog or a VGA connection. And then my laptop should pop up on the screen for us, which it has. Now, if your laptop doesn't pop up right away, the reason probably is that you haven't adjusted the mode of your laptop so that it will show up on the projector as well. The way you can do that is either through the control panel, or the shortcut is to hold down the function key and then press the F8 key. It's going to either bring up a nice little menu or scroll through those modes automatically, and you'll want to set it on the duplicate mode so that whatever you're showing on your screen is going to be duplicated on the screen in the front of the class. Next on our list is our Blu-ray player. When I press the Blu-ray button, I get the pop-up of the controls for the Blu-ray. Our play and our stop are on the left, and our navigation and our menu are on the right. There's a full screen video button there. When I press that, I can preview what I'm doing on the Blu-ray. I can click back to get back to the main screen there. And the Blu-ray player is right underneath the desk here on the right-hand side. You can use the front panel controls as well. And I'll also note that you can use the Blu-ray player to play your regular DVDs or your CDs. You don't have to have a Blu-ray disc to play in there. This is also a good time to mention the volume. The volume knob is located at the bottom of the touch panel here. You can turn it to the left and to the right to adjust the volume. And we'll also make a quick note that the only thing you're going to hear besides the wireless microphone, which is always on the speakers, The only thing you'll hear on the speakers is what is selected on your source select row up here. So since Blu-ray is selected, that's what we'll hear and that's what we'll adjust with the volume, but we won't hear anything else. So if we wanted to hear the PC, then we would have to switch our source select to PC, then we would hear that on the speakers and we could adjust it with the volume knob. The next thing we'll talk about is a document camera that's on the right-hand side here. There's the power button in the back part. When I press that button, the light blinks green. When that becomes a solid green, then we'll know the document camera is ready to go. We have our advanced features up here by the camera. I can zoom in and zoom out using the zoom wheel. I have a manual and an autofocus. I'll want to leave that on autofocus unless I'm doing something active, and a few other options there. Once the document camera is ready to go, I come over to the touch panel. I hit the button labeled Doc Cam, and then it takes just a few seconds for everything to sync up, just like it does with all the sources, and then anything I do in the Doc Cam is going to show up on the screen for us. The last thing we'll mention on our source select row here is our auxiliary button. When I press that auxiliary button there, a little sub-menu comes up letting me choose between S-video or composite video modes. And the way that I'm going to do that is come to back to the cable cubby here, and those are right down in our cable cubby. They share the audio, so always plug your audio into these two jacks, but the S-video is here and the composite video is here. And what you would use those for is like if you had your iPod or if you had a video camera or something you wanted to bring in, you could connect it right to those jacks, choose the right setting, and then you can show your device up on the screen. On the left-hand side of our touch panel then, we have a few more buttons to talk about. The top one is a projector power button. If for some reason you wanted to completely power down the projector while the system was still active. The next button is something you'd use probably more often, which would be a video mute button. And what the video mute button does is just sends a black screen to the projector, or it just mutes the video. And you can use that in conjunction with the screen up and screen down button. If you mute the video and put the screen up, then you'll have access to the whiteboards without shutting everything down and having to wait for it to shut down and power back up. And then when you're ready to project things again, you can just unmute the video and put the screen back down. There's a mute the microphones button there, and this bottom button here says help, and that's a great button. When I hit that button, the names and phone numbers of a couple members of the Academic Technology Services staff come up, and those are the people and the numbers that we'll call if we ever have problems during a class, or if we ever need anything, or we just have questions. I'll hit OK to get out of this help screen. And now I'm back to my main screen, and in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a button labeled System Off. When I hit that System Off button, it asks me if I'm sure I want to power down. When I hit that power down button, it's going to shut off the projector, which is very important, so we save the life of the projector bulb, and it's going to put the screen back up into the ceiling for us. So once again, I'll mention, if you ever have any questions or concerns, please contact Academic Technology Services, and we'd be happy to help you. Thank you.